The U.S. Department of Education has thrust Denver, Colorado into the national spotlight, igniting a heated conversation about student rights and school policies. This comes after a recent ruling against Denver public schools, a decision that has sent shockwaves through the district and beyond. At the heart of the controversy is East High School, which converted a girls' multi-stall restroom into an all-gender facility. This move, intended to create a more inclusive environment for transgender and non-binary students, instead sparked a federal complaint from parents and advocacy groups. The department's investigation concluded that this change violated Title IX, the federal law prohibiting sex-based discrimination in education. Officials argued that by removing a girls-only restroom, the school created unequal access, since the boys' restroom remained unchanged and exclusively for boys. This decision directly challenges recent policies in many districts that allow students to use facilities matching their gender identity, raising questions about how best to balance inclusion and privacy. Now, Denver finds itself at the center of a national debate. Should access to school bathrooms be determined by a student's gender identity, or should it be based strictly on biological sex? The issue has drawn passionate responses from parents, students, and advocacy groups on both sides. The Department of Education's ruling sets a significant precedent, forcing Denver public schools to reconsider its policies or risk losing crucial federal funding that supports its programs and students. The implications of this decision extend far beyond Denver, signaling a potential shift in how Title IX will be interpreted and enforced in schools across the country for years to come. At the heart of this ongoing national controversy is Title IX, a landmark piece of legislation that has shaped the landscape of American education for over 50 years. Passed in 1972, Title IX prohibits sex-based discrimination in any school or educational program that receives federal funding, aiming to ensure fairness and equal access for all students, regardless of gender. This groundbreaking law not only revolutionized women's sports by mandating equal opportunities, but also opened doors for women and girls in academics, extracurriculars, and leadership roles across the country. Today, the debate centers on a crucial question. Does the word sex in Title IX also include gender identity, or is it limited to biological sex assigned at birth? In recent years, some past administrations interpreted Title IX to protect transgender students, allowing them to use facilities that match their gender identity and ensuring their right to participate fully in school life. However, the current administration has shifted course, now interpreting sex strictly as biological sex at birth, effectively reversing previous federal guidance and policies. This dramatic policy change has left schools and administrators caught in the middle, struggling to navigate conflicting federal and state directives while trying to support all students. For example, Denver's inclusive bathroom policy, which was once considered fully compliant with federal law, is now viewed as a violation under the new interpretation. As the definition of sex under Title IX continues to evolve, schools across the nation are facing uncertainty, legal challenges, and a rapidly changing educational landscape. The push for all-gender restrooms at East High School began with students seeking a safer, more inclusive environment for everyone. Their advocacy led to converting a girls' restroom into an all-gender facility with private stalls, while a boys' restroom remained unchanged for now. The district offered a mix of all-gender, boys, girls, and single-stall restrooms to accommodate everyone's needs. Critics argued this reduced access to girls-only spaces, triggering the federal investigation into the matter. What started as a student-driven effort for inclusion is now framed as a violation of equal access rights. The case highlights the tension between local initiatives and federal mandates, sparking a broader debate. The Department of Education concluded that Denver's policy created what it called a hostile environment for students and determined it violated Title IX protections for students. The main issue was converting a girls' restroom to an all-gender facility, while leaving the boys' restroom completely unchanged, which the report said reduced resources and privacy for female students. The federal report also criticized the district for allowing students to use bathrooms based on their gender identity, specifically citing privacy and safety concerns. Denver was given just 10 days to comply with the federal directive or risk losing critical federal funding for its schools. The ultimatum leaves the district with a stark choice: abandon inclusive restroom policies or face severe and far-reaching penalties. The federal stance is clear: sex-specific facilities must be preserved for both sexes, without exception. The Department of Education's recent resolution requires Denver to reverse its policy on multi-stall, all-gender bathrooms, mandating that these facilities be converted back to sex-specific restrooms. This directive comes after months of heated debate and public comment, reflecting the growing national scrutiny over how schools accommodate transgender and non-binary students. The district is now compelled to eliminate all policies that allow students to use bathrooms based on their gender identity, and instead must adopt strict biology-based definitions of male and female for facility access. This shift marks a significant change for Denver's schools, which had previously been seen as leaders in inclusive practices. In addition, a formal memo from the district must be issued, affirming a renewed commitment to providing separate but comparable facilities for each sex, as defined by the new federal guidelines. This memo is intended to reassure both parents and staff that the district is in compliance with federal law. This ruling is not an isolated event. It's part of a broader, ongoing national effort to restrict transgender rights in schools, sparking protests and passionate responses from advocates on both sides of the issue. Denver's case now serves as a high-profile test for school districts across the country, sending a clear warning about the potential legal and political risks of adopting inclusive policies that go beyond federal mandates. The conflict highlights the deepening divide between federal directives and local efforts to foster acceptance and belonging for all students, regardless of gender identity. For many in the community, this is about far more than just policy. It's a deeply personal battle over fundamental rights, identity, and the ongoing struggle to define what true equality in education really means for every student.